around to find the names. And please, don't give us fictitious names. Jane Doe, John Doe. No, we don't want those ones. Mr. Lagbaja and Mr. Tamedu. No, we want real names within this place. So you're supposed to be involved by walking around to find these people. Now, apart from fun and relaxing, this would force us to network, and that's the purpose of this. So please, can we get up and start getting involved in this? Is a speaker at the event. If you come to the front and you see the reserved tables, you will find speakers. That's one quick ojoro. Is a twin. Is there anybody that is a twin? You need to fill it up in 8 minutes. Is a lawyer. Where are the lawyers? You need to put somebody's name right there. Who is a lawyer here? Has visited Silicon Valley. Who has visited Silicon Valley? Fill it up in 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Is the COO of an organization. So go around looking for who's the COO of an organization. 8 minutes, 12 seconds. 8 minutes, 12 seconds. I think the time is too long. Maybe we should make it 5 minutes to go. So you've got to fill it up very quickly. Who's going to win this game? Which table is going to win this game? Mention that you cannot write one name twice. So you cannot find all the answers on one table. You can't write one name twice. So you can't find the answers on one table. You can't find the answers. You've got to network. You've got to leave that end of the hall and go to the second end of the hall to find the answers. Let it force us to network and meet people. That's the essence, to have fun as we meet people. So please fill it up very quickly. 7 minutes, 10 seconds. 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Who has visited Silicon Valley? Who's a lawyer here? Who is a Gen Z? Who is a Gen Z? Fill it up in 7 minutes. Okay, we've got 6 minutes to go. I think the time is too long. We need to cut it down. I'm just kidding. Let's leave it. There's a twin here. They need to fill it up. That's the essence of this game. This is a creative way to get us to network. Meanwhile, our virtual audience should please drop comments in the chat box telling us about the experience so far at the event and, learnings and what session you are looking forward to. We've got 6 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Who's going to win this game? 6 minutes, 12 seconds. Who is going to win this game? 6 minutes, 12 seconds. Wow, I see so many people around one table. They've got to have answers on this table. Please don't forget that the rule of the game says you are not allowed to repeat one name. Do not repeat one name don't repeat a name. That means don't write it twice. So one name, only for one space. Fill it up quickly. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. If you're done, please just kindly go back and take your seat and get ready for the next session. Who is going to win this game? Networking 101 at the Nigeria FinTech 2022. I think this is disruptive networking. 5 minutes, 10 seconds. Who is winning this game? Which table is winning this game? Which table is winning this game now? If you're not on any table, please join a table. Just be a part of them and join them to win it. Who is winning this game? Who's a twin here? Who's been to Silicon Valley? Who's a lawyer? Let's fill it up. Fill up the 11 spaces with names that exist. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Chief Operating Officer, COO is Chief Operating Officer. So that means that you've got to fill it up with the name of a Chief Operating Officer And that person has to be in here, not a fictitious name. We don't want any Jane Does or John Does. We want real names. Thank you. Which table is going to win? Which table is going to win? So let me just give us one quick tip to knowing whether someone is a twin. Now, if it's a twin and he's from Yoruba land, he would likely be called Kehinde or Taiwo, maybe. So if anybody's name is Kehinde or Taiwo, that's an automatic pointer to knowing that that person is a twin. If you see anybody looking young, go and ask them, are they Gen Zs? That's an easy way to know. All right, we've got 3 minutes, 40 seconds, everyone. Fast, let's move faster. Let's move faster. We've got 3 minutes, 18 seconds. If you're done, just go back to your table. If you're done, please go back to your table. So as a tip, a Gen Z is between 1997 to 2012. So Gen Z is 1997 to 2012. So fill it up quickly. 2 minutes, 55 seconds, everyone. The group on the right side seems to be done. 2 minutes, 42 seconds. 2 minutes, 42 seconds. Two minutes, 28 seconds. No extra time, no extra time. 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Fill it up very quickly. Fill it up very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, when we close, please don't add any extra time. No, don't give it to me. Just go back to your seat when you're done. Just go back to your seat when you're done. Go back to your seat when you're done. Thank you. So that table is done, right? Which table is that? Okay, great. With real names, not fictitious names. Real names. 11 filled up. Okay, which other table is done? Which table are you? Okay, that table is done. Okay, great. 1 minute, 42 seconds. 1 minute, 42 seconds. What about that table over there? Are you done? Wow, I love to see the teamwork and the collaboration that is happening at the back. Everybody wants to fill it up. Okay. 1 minute, 22 seconds. Now 1 minute, 17 seconds. Is this table participating? Is this table done? Wow. They came to you with the answers. Wow. This table is just enjoying. 1 minute is on green, it's on red now. It's on red now, 59 seconds, 58 seconds. No extra time, please. The rule of the game means that if you're done, you please sit. If you're not done, when the timer goes off, please. It's just a game. We can lose or we can win. That's the spirit of Olympics. It's in participation. So when the timer goes off, please, let's close. 27 seconds to go. Disruptive networking. 20 seconds to go. Okay? Seven seconds to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's make our way back to our stage. Let's be fair, no cheating. If you're still participating by now, it means that you are not being fair to the game. The game is over. Please, let's take our seat. Let's take our seat. Okay. How many tables got 11 over 11? Please, can you stand? If you got 11 over 11, all of them filled up. Please stand. Stand. That's something to celebrate. Please, can we give a round of applause to all the tables that got 11 over 11? Okay, please, can we have one representative, just one representative per table? Anybody who just feels comfortable coming forward very quickly. One representative per table. Anybody who is just comfortable coming forward now? Anybody? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. If you're not here by 1, 2, 3, maybe you don't want to be here. Okay. These are the representatives. Okay. First of all, please, can we give them a round of applause on behalf of their tables? Okay, so these are the representatives that stepped forward. And I asked all the representatives to come forward. One representative per table. If you got 11 over 11, if you didn't get 11 over 11, no, don't come. Please, can you pick a microphone? I just want to ask, what was it like, the experience going around for you? That's all. What was it like, the experience? Oh, you need to say it very loud. It was very interesting. Please, can we switch on this microphone? Okay.
It was so interesting and fun.
It was interesting and fun.
Yes.
Okay, did you meet anybody you had never met before?
Yes.
Like, how many people did you meet?
Almost 11 of them.
You met 11 of them.
Yes.
Do you feel that you got business relationships out of this that would, will become business relationships?
Yes.
You did. Okay, let me pass it to the next person. What was it like? I want to hear your own words, honestly. What was it like, this disruptive networking game?
Okay, it was innovative. Okay, it was innovative, it was fun, it was interesting. I mean, I met a lot of people, I networked with a lot of
wow.
people, I gained a lot of things.
Okay, before participating in this game, have you networked with people, within a short time in such a fast way?
Yes.
No, before you did the game, have you met people,
yes.
up to 11 people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. I'd like to hear your thoughts, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Your question?
Yeah, so question is, what was it like for you?
Wow, the game was just so fun.
Okay.
Tension was high, but I was trying to meet up the time.
Okay.
And I so much love it.
All right, please, can we just give them a round of applause? All right, you just came up. Just one word for what it was like for you. Just one word, very quickly. What the experience, what you learned from this experience.
Okay, I really had fun and
okay.
I enjoyed, though I didn't come early.
Okay.
The time I came, I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed the game?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. A round of applause. They make their way to the stage, or down the stage rather. A round of applause, please. Thank you. That's it. Okay, that was just to get us to meet one another and to, just let our hair down a bit, have some fun as we go on with the session. Don't forget, we're going to have the quiz where somebody gets to walk away the Huawei tab. If you missed out on this game, don't miss out on that quiz. Please, don't miss out on the quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the keynote presentation. And ahead of this presentation, I think I would like to ask us, is there anyone that knows anybody that has been a victim of cybersecurity threat? You know anybody that's been a victim of cybersecurity threat? Please raise your hand. Cybersecurity threat. Maybe somebody's money, somebody was scammed online. Maybe somebody, was defrauded online. Maybe some money was taken online. Anybody? Okay, that's to show that almost the hall is filled up with hands raised up. And that's to show that this is such an important conversation. A lot of money, billions, is lost to cybersecurity threats. And this conversation is going to answer the question about how we can protect ourselves and our companies, our organizations from cybersecurity threats. And I'm very honored to bring up for this keynote presentation on building a sustainable fintech ecosystem, cybersecurity imperatives, the GM operations and technology at EcoBank and the President, Information Security Society of Nigeria, of Africa, Nigeria, and ISAN. I'm talking about Dr. David Isiawe. Can we give him a round of applause as he makes his way to the stage?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a tough task to speak to people immediately after lunch, right? So that's my job for today. And I think working together with everyone, we should be able to overcome the impact of the the lunch that we have had. It's my pleasure to be here to speak to a few of the issues around cyber security, especially in the fintech space. This is just an outline. All right. Have we been hacked already? Okay, so by way of introduction, ladies and gentlemen, the high level of interconnectedness of businesses, the very high level of deployment of digital devices, digital mechanisms into the financial services space has completely revolutionized how financial services are provided. That goes without saying. During the past few sessions we've had, I heard a few people who mentioned the advent of COVID-19. COVID came on and it was a big problem, but it accelerated the adoption of digital. What that means is that fintechs now have an increasing role to play in the future of financial services. And indeed, the more you innovate, the more you need to automate the attendant controls. The reason is that the old ways of the past, the old controls that we used to have in manual, semi-manual, or semi-automated processes cannot match the demands of today. Not possible anymore. Okay, and what we're going to see is the fact that cybersecurity is no more a question of if a hack or an attack or a breach would happen. It's a matter of when. And when it happens, what do you do? Our anchor was asking a question just now. Do you know anybody who has, suffered from an attack, etc.? Everybody that is sitting here, I'm almost certain that in the last 4 to 6 weeks, you have either received a text message or an email message promising you something, either a job or a business, or in some cases, what we even saw was some level of advisory or consultancy service. Come to us at Agege to one office, and the job is there waiting for you. Some even sent out messages asking people to choose their time slots when they want to come in for the discussion, for the consultancy job. It's all a scam. The more you put on your telephones and use the digital devices, etc., the more you receive all of those messages. It's all part of the problem. All right, so why do we need to mitigate against cyber risks? Why? I've mentioned the level of interconnectedness. Today, there is no organization or even individual who is not connected digitally. Even those in the remote villages who do not have access to internet, at least if they have telephones, they can do USSD. That also leaves digital footprints. So whether your business is micro or your business is mini or your business is mega, cybersecurity is top of mind. Cybersecurity risk is a business risk that everybody faces. Everyone, every business, man or woman. It is something that is top of mind of executives. It's not, by the way, it is not a technology issue alone. So if you look at the right-hand side of this dashboard, I just took out a few of the statistics there. Almost 90% of organizations have at least connected to a phishing site, at least 90%. 70% of organizations or users have had some malicious browser ads. I think that number is even conservative, but that's what the study shows. Another 70% experience some level of crypto mining. Sometimes you find out that your computer is just hot, very hot, or at particular periods of the day, your computer system, even your telephones, very hot. Or you find out that your electricity bill is just running. You don't know what you've done, but those of you who they call it NEPA card, right? You know, the recharge of your cards, your prepaid meters, you find out that everything just runs out. You may be surprised at what you are experiencing is crypto mining. This crypto mining, almost 70%. So by the time you see that your telephone is very hot, you should ask yourself, is anything going on here? If you see that your laptop or your PC is extremely hot, some guy sitting somewhere, maybe in Russia, like that gentleman we saw who spoke to us, may just be there. It's called island hopping. The island hops into your system, turns it into a small command center, and then starts doing crypto, start mining digital currency from your system, free of charge. Your system becomes hot, your electricity bill grows, and yet you don't know what's happening. It's happening about 70% of the time to organizations. And then, of course, there is the ransomware menace. It's a big problem. All right. Okay, so these are just a few of the different types of cybersecurity threats that are top of mind. You see there from malware. Malware is very common, very, very common, malware. I'm sure we know malware stands for malicious software, right? Software that is specifically designed to cause damage. And it is distributed by through different means. Could be email messaging, could be even a WhatsApp message. And there is something called steganography. It could be through Stega. Stega is where a deadly malware is hidden in a picture and is sent to you. And a lot of us, we have our telephone settings in such a way that anything you access, either on WhatsApp or on the internet, is downloaded automatically to your telephone. That's a very risky thing to do. Please, if your setting is like that, change it from today. You must not download all those pictures and videos automatically onto your phones. You should deliberately copy and download and save whatever you want to save. For a lot of people, once they access anything, picture, video clip, whatever on WhatsApp, it is automatically downloaded onto their phones. You will get hit one day by what is called steganography inside malware. Malware that is inside a picture or inside a video clip. Then, of course, you have your phishing messages, all kinds of messages that you receive by email all the time. And then, of course, password attacks. There's one there called DDoS. DDoS is distributed denial of service attacks that involve the use of a large number of packets directed at a specific target. And when that happens, the target can usually cannot withstand the attack. I think our friend from Huawei is here. Last time we were talking, at the Hotel a few weeks ago, Huawei announced to the whole world that they have a DDoS, anti-DDoS mechanism, an anti-malware device that can handle all of that. There are a number of tools that can be used for that as well. And then, of course, you have man in the middle, rogue software, etc. All right. Now, this slide just gives us an idea of the cost. What is at risk in terms of cybersecurity? In cyberspace, how much can people take? Today, all you need is a telephone that has access to the internet. And so with $100, you should have that. And you have access to $6.5 trillion. That's a market space with a simple telephone. Sitting anywhere, you can be in this room, you can be upstairs, you can be at any of those shopping malls around the place, and the amount there that you can access is 6.5 trillion. It is expected that that market space is going to grow in another 2 to 3 years to $10.5 trillion. That's a lot of money. What this has done is to turn upside down simple principles in finance. High risk, high return, right? With cybersecurity, low risk, very high return, because your cost is just $100. You're hiding somewhere, either in Ukraine or in Russia or in North Korea or anywhere, or in the village or in one of the states in Nigeria. Which state Which one is the most active state in Nigeria for cyber-related activities? Who knows? What's the name of the state? No, it's not Lagos. Hello? There are a few states that are very active. You know, there's one in Edo, there's one in Onitsha, and, you know, in Anambra. Those states, they are very, very active in this space. So there's a lot of money to be made. The risk is very low. Investment is very low. Now, these are some of the things that can happen, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are fintech, whether you are a bigger company, whether you're a conglomerate, if any of those threats crystallizes, these are some of the things that can happen to the company. You lose your intellectual property, you lose your competitive advantage, you have contracts that you cannot meet and they will get terminated, your customers will be very unhappy. Of course, you have related disruption in your operations and your performance, and then credit rating will go down. Reputation, of course, will be heavily damaged, and for areas where you have insurance, your insurance premium will also go up. Now, what are the different challenges encountered? We've spoken about some of these already, but you find here that the different types of fintech-related cybersecurity challenges, you have application breaches. This normally happens when you do not do enough testing. You see, one thing that fintech brings to the table, to the marketplace, is agility, speed. The fintechs are very fast. They can hit, you know, the ground running, they take care of customers' needs, but the danger there is they don't do enough testing. And if you don't do enough testing, then you go to market with products that have vulnerabilities, that have gaps. The cyber criminals are not sleeping. They are always doing research. At night, when people are sleeping, the guys are by their PCs. They are working very hard. They determine all of those vulnerable applications and they hit them. What about malware? We've spoken about malware already. That is a major, major threat that the fintech world faces. Let's be very careful. You cannot just click. Even if your boss sends you a message, even if your MD sends you the message, don't click on the attachment unless you are very sure that that message came from your MD. Otherwise, you will just be hit either by general malware or ransomware. And then, of course, we mentioned distributed denial of service already, using a lot of systems. There's something called IoTs. I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with the Internet of Things. And in that space, there's very little security. So a lot of those IoT devices can actually be turned into an army of zombies digitally. And then they can be used to attack any system, server, target. Your machines are used for coding and so forth. All those zombies anywhere, sitting down in one room, somebody can create that army. Even these lights, I'm sure if these lights are smart, they can be put as part of the army and you see them sending packets to the target. It's a very difficult world out there. Cybersecurity is actually like warfare, ladies and gentlemen. And then cloud computing, a number of issues around cloud computing. To a large extent, people don't know what is there in the cloud. They have no means of determining who has access to what is there. So there are a few issues there as well. And I'm rounding up now. Okay, these are still a few more of the types of challenges faced by fintechs. We mentioned phishing already, different types of messages you see, and then data breach issues. This is a major one for fintechs as well, data breaches, because the fintechs have little investments that they make. They have agility, speed to market, and then the data is not well protected, and so there's a problem. All kinds of people, different kinds of people, unauthorized persons who have access to the data, that can actually be a big problem. A good example is the BVN database. I know that NIBS sent out letters to all banks late last year, all banks, mandating them not to give access to any fintech to their BVN data, because you could have very serious problems here with data breaches. And then third-party unsecured services, again, the entire ecosystem is as secure as the weakest link. The entire ecosystem, the digital space, the fintech space is as secure. So, and I started off by talking about the interconnectedness of businesses. No one business or entity can do it all alone. And when we had the panel discussing the global work situation, you know, somebody mentioned that the workers can be anywhere. They can be in Africa, they can be working for companies across the world. The average tech person wants to support different types of companies. That's a big problem. So one third party accessing your network, if that third party's own systems are not secure, the bad guys will come in from there, and that's it, and it's a problem. The last one I'd like to talk about briefly is money laundering risk. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the fintech people here, please let us keep that in mind, money laundering risk. The fintech systems that are being developed, sometimes because they are so smart, so agile, monies move at the speed of light. Money can move easily. Transfers can be made easily. If you do not have a means of verifying the source of the money, if you are not integrated to other subsystems that provide that level of assurance as to the cleanliness of the monies, then the fintech operators run a very high risk. How many of us heard that 2 Nigerian directors were sentenced to jail running their fintech organization that handles money transfers in the US, UK, across the world, but a lot of the transfers are coming to Africa and to Nigeria. 2 of them were sentenced to jail. That was a few weeks ago. How many of us heard about it? Okay, only a few hands. Please, oh. All right. That's the reason I'm talking about it last, please. Fintech has speed. Fintech has agility. The monies can move. The systems we are developing can transfer these monies very fast. But if the money is not clean, the FBI was monitoring these guys for a long time. They did not know. Once they had enough evidence, bang, they took them to court. The guys were in shock initially, and they started fighting with the FBI. They got lawyers. They sat down and said, you know what? Even if we prosecute this matter till the end and we're able to win, we will be bankrupt. So guys, let's just plead. That's how they got sentenced. I was very, very sad. Nigerians, good guys, fintech guys, fantastic systems and applications that they have. Where are they right now? They are in jail, 2 of them, because of that risk. Okay, and I think that takes us to the next slide, which should be the last slide, on key imperatives, on how you can build a resilient cybersecurity program. I've actually spoken about them. Let's pay some attention to training. We've talked about that all over, different people talking. Upskilling is very important. The key one for me is compliance with standards. Compliance with standards. If you are able to do this, just 50% here, you would have solved item 3. You would also solve part of item 4, part of item number 1, and number 5. This one, compliance to standards. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not mean that if you are compliant with ISO 27001, you are compliant with ISO 22301, oh, you are PCI DSS compliant, then it means your systems are all safe, they cannot be hacked. No. But what it means is that it enhances your cyber security posture and makes it very difficult for the hackers to get at you if you are able to meet these standards. So fintechs, normally, they are bedeviled by item number 4 there. They don't have money for investment. They go very fast, they move quick, and so forth. If you don't pay attention to standards and you don't have encryption on your data in transit or data at rest is open, anybody can access your data, you got a big problem. So it's important that we pay some level of attention. That's why I said, if we can do 50% of this, just be compliant with global standards. You will know that encryption, your data should be encrypted. In some cases, even your network should be encrypted. And once that happens, once that is in place, the hackers, when they come to your door, they knock on your systems, they see encryption. It will take them some time, or they cannot even break through. Sometimes they can, but it will take a while. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, okay, all of the things you see here speak to the previous slide, which we've covered, which is defense in depth. Have layered security. Layered security from protecting your software using encryption and other measures like we mentioned. Then you protect even your hardware. You ensure that there is access. Access is only granted to authorized persons. And then you apply patches. As the patches are available, you're applying them, you're securing them as well as much as possible. You protect your network perimeter. You have your firewalls in place. Not expensive. Even Microsoft has firewalls, right? Even, So in those days, all firewalls were hard, devices, but now you have software, firewalls, strong, your perimeter. Even your physical security is all part of it. And then you have policies, at least basic policies that guide and direct your, your operations, which is the last one there, policy and procedures covering everything. So you just have layers of controls and security in place. So that if, you see, or when, it's when the attackers come, if they break through the first layer, they will meet the second one. They cut through that one, they will meet the third one. They go through that one, they meet the fourth one. And those guys don't have patience when they want to attack. Then most of the time, 80% of the time, they drop off. So we must learn to increase the work factor for anyone who wants to attack our systems. Finally, zero trust, never trust, always verify. Don't give people access that they don't need. Don't give superfluous access. Some systems, everybody's an administrator. That must not be. There should be least privilege. Whatever people need essentially to do their work, that's what they should have. And this just speaks to everything that we have said, from your layered security, governance, regulatory compliance, your policies and procedures in place, and then you apply, you make sure you have a compliance with international standards while applying the appropriate controls. So you have your operational controls in place, as well as your administrative controls. And then you have your technical, software updates, vulnerability patching, and all. We've spoken about everything that is here. Once we're able to do this, ladies and gentlemen, then we can be reasonably sure that we are safe and secure, and we can go to sleep with one eye open. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for an insightful session. It was quite insightful. I mean, taking us through, some of the threats to cybersecurity for the fintech ecosystem, and also imperatives for fintech players, to protect themselves and protect their organizations. So thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the breakout session now. And the breakout session is still continuing the conversation of cybersecurity, because this is such an important topic. So I'm glad we have a breakout session of 30 minutes to discuss it. We're having 4 breakout rooms. Physically, they're represented by the whiteboards just right in front of you. So everywhere you see a whiteboard, it's an indicator that there's a breakout room holding there. The first one for breakout room A is going to focus on understanding the nature of cyber threats. So if you're interested in learning and sharing about understanding the nature of cyber threats, you want to go over there. And the speaker who is facilitating this session is Tunde Balogun, Managing Partner at Octasis Limited. Can you please indicate Tunde Balogun if you're in here? Okay. All right, please, over there. So if you're interested in the theme, understanding the nature of cyber threats, please go along with Tunde Balogun to be a part of it. Now, the next one is focused on solving the scarcity of cybersecurity experts, solving the scarcity of cybersecurity experts. And we've got Joy Omoru, who's a cybersecurity specialist, who's going to be moderating the conversation on this one. That's room B, and that's represented by that whiteboard over there. So if you're interested in learning about how to solve the scarcity of cybersecurity experts, you want to move over there. Ma'am, please, can you raise your hand, Joy Omoroku, so that, okay? So please just go along with her to B. B is supposed to be after B is, okay, so B is here, so that's represented by the board. So please just note the facilitators and you know where the session is going to hold. Now to room C, we've got a conversation on data compromise and data security. If you'd like to learn and share around that topic, please go along with Mike Odusomi. Mike Odusomi, CEO Maxut, please can you raise your hand? Okay, Mike Odusomi is going to C, that's team C. If you're interested in that topic, that's team C right over there. Thank you, sir. So please go along with him if you want to learn and share more about data compromise and data security. Okay, thank you. And we've got team D. Team D is, if you are not in team A, you are not in team B, you are not in team C. You are automatically with team D. So I guess that's the rest of us. And that's focused on winning strategies. Now, to moderate this conversation on winning strategies, the speaker is Kehinde Giwa, Head Technology Security Operations at Stanbic IBTC. Kehinde Giwa, please, can you indicate by waving? Okay, great. So please go along with Kehinde Giwa to be a part of the session on winning strategies. Our virtual audience can please just click on the icon on Zoom that enables you move into the breakout rooms, any of the ones you've registered for. All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes. The timer is going to start to count from now, 30 minutes. And by 30 minutes, we'll reconvene as we did yesterday. When we reconvene, we'll talk about key highlights from the session. Then we'll have our quiz and find out who walks away with their away phone. And then we close for today. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great time at the breakout session. And we'll resume in 30 minutes as, you know, a general session. Thank you. Which session? Gentlemen, please let's begin to wrap up. It's 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go. If you look back at the timer, you see that it's about 20 seconds to go now. So please, let's wrap up so that we have the general meeting and then we close for today. Have our quiz. Yes, it's our quiz to win the away phone. So please, let's wrap up. 8 seconds to go. Please, let's wrap up in every group A to D. Please, let's wrap up. And I'd like to invite the speakers to please come to the stage to share some key insights from the group. Thank you very much. Time is up. Time is up. Thank you. The time is up. Thank you so much. I believe group A is done. Group A. Time is up, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's begin to reconvene. Thank you. So what we can do to continue conversations is networking. So we can get one another's number and, mobile number, email address, and continue conversations later. But for now, please, time is up. It's already 4:44. So it's a good time to close here. Team A, please, are we good to go? Team B, Team C, Team D. Please, let's wrap up. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Please, let's wrap up now. Time is up. Time is up. Thank you very much. Please, let's wrap up. Thank you very much. Let's wrap up and take our seat. Appreciate all the teams, all the speakers that facilitated the session, and everybody that's been a part of it generally. Thank you. Yes, please, our speakers can please come up to share key findings, some highlights of their presentation or one of their discussion generally in the different groups. So this one is just going to be about 3-minute summary each. Thank you, sir. Please, I'd like to invite other speakers to join. Okay. Okay, so very quickly, let me pass the microphone. Okay, just keep finding from your group. Yeah, summary, just about 3 minutes.
Okay. So
thank you very much.
I guess the first thing is
please the timer 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank
you, sir.
So the title of our discussion was data compromise and data security. And I had a very lively group. We were very lucky to have somebody from the CBN as well as the NCC in our group, so that helped. So we started by defining what data compromise is all about. And we talked about the standards, the CIA triad for security. And then we talked about the different ways of compromise, the social engineering, the different techniques. We talked about malware. Luckily for us, the session before us was really on cybersecurity, so that made it a little bit easier. We talked about the ways and the techniques. Malware was a big one because everybody here probably works on mobile devices, and that's very prevalent. So we talked about the ransomware, social engineering, phishing attacks, business email compromise, the different techniques. And then we went into the regulations and standards, why it is very important. The NDPR, which is the data privacy regulations in Nigeria. We talk about some of the standards recommendation by the NCC, as well as the CBN cybersecurity framework. Most importantly, we talked about people. Awareness was key to everything that we do. User awareness, don't click on a link if you're not sure where that link came from. Don't visit a website if you're not sure of where it came from. Don't open an attachment, especially PDF or pictures, if you don't trust the source of that. And then we talked about different technologies that you apply, from basic stuff like backup, backing up your systems, encrypting your website, making sure that you block any what we call ports in technology on your website. So those are the things we spoke about for my group.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So that was for the group on compromise and data security. Thank you very much, Michael Dusom, CEO Maxit. We'll take pictures, but please would like her to take, and then we'll take pictures at the end. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes. So yes, this one is focused on solving the scarcity of cybersecurity experts, and we've got Joy Omoruku.
Yes, it was quite an interesting one and eye-opening that we've realized that cybersecurity is not known, even within Nigeria. And so we should look for a way for awareness. If there is a way of probably engaging secondary school and tertiary institutions to make sure that they have cybersecurity as a course on its own, and as well as a master's program to ensure that people are aware of this. So, and again, we discussed a lot to handle this scarcity. We can look at organizations actually reaching out to universities to have some engagement with them and introduce them to the school.
This is the last person.
That's really an option. And then we also look at, well, earlier today we spoke about people leaving the country and then traveling out and creating like an empty space for us. So what does it call for? Organizations need to train. They need to get young people, train them on cybersecurity to take up that role within their organization, which is very, very, very key. We need to train the people on ground. We should also look at a system which we have outside the country, where we have internship programs to train our young ones when it comes to cybersecurity. So we have situations where, as stated earlier today, the first time any graduate get in touch with the employers is actually after graduation. That should actually be erased from our system. We should have placements where probably within the education system during holidays, they should have a program where our students reach out to the employers, work for some time, and then get used to this employment and understand what is being done, such that as they graduate, they can easily fit in to fill in the gaps for cybersecurity experts. But most importantly, as a nation, we should look at that and probably FinTech NGR. But there is something I just realized also from the team, though I have a banking sector background, where cybersecurity have like a full-blown team reporting to a CISO and the CISO reporting directly to MD. But in most FinTech, I now come to realize that that kind of structure is not in place. So, but thankfully, CBN also have been proactive to come up with a cybersecurity framework for fintechs. So for our fintechs here, they should do well to look out for this framework and see what is in stock for cybersecurity units. Make sure you have full-blown team, you have a team, you have a head reporting directly to the CISO. With this, and also remunerating those in the cyberspace, very, very critical, because if not, what we see is that we keep on revolving same person within the organization. So we need to pay them well. We need to have a clear career path for them and make them stay within the country to fill in the gaps. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is the conversation on winning strategies, and Kehinde Giwa is the speaker who moderated that session, Head Technology Security Operations at Stanbic IBTC.
All right, thank you. I think a lot have been done around winning strategy. What she did just now is also about the winning strategies when it comes to cybersecurity. So what we did was to touch on the people, looking at it from a people, process, and technology perspective. And from a people side, we can't overemphasize the place of the shortage in the global technology skill. And a lot of people have touched around it. And I'm happy that she's also mentioned part of the need to have that course, because we said a lot of people also just call off strike now. And a lot of undergraduates are already even working, probably for most of the fintechs here. So they have that skill they are developing, but yet they've just resumed back to school to finish maybe forestry or something for another 5 years, just that they can just tick off the box. So that is key from a people side. And from a process, where also, remember, Dr. make a very valid point here when he made this presentation about it's not a matter of if, but when. And the question what we try to sort and handle is also when it eventually happens, are we aware of what we do? So it speaks about incident response and cybersecurity response. What do we do? What do people do in the event of the cyber threat and all those things? So, and we also reference, the NIPS report for, half of the year that also confirmed that, recovery, less than 1% of recoveries are done in the event of fraud. Down the line, between January and February and March and June, less than 1% recovery. It speaks to the effort that we also need to put together as technologies and also from our law enforcement, partnership with law enforcement, just to ensure that in the event that this thing happens, first, we're clear, we know what to do, we know how to respond, and we also, are assured that, the law enforcement agencies also have the right skill and all those things. And lastly, on technology, we've talked, we can't take the place of ransomware and all these things away. And we're saying that we need to start also building, strengthen our defense in-depth approach, just that we have the right tool to combat these things. From a ransomware, you can be looking at, gone are the days that there are no, is a goal. So you just say that when you are hit by ransomware, that's the end. There are intelligence systems that first has to, they can make secure isolation of your immutability and some sort of intelligence, just that they can just give you some leeway in the course. You also have different breach and attack simulation systems so that you're able to simulate attacks before it happens within your estate, and you're applying learnings from those systems to strengthen your cyber defense and the likes. So basically, that's just a summary of some of the things. The good thing is that a lot of the winning strategies is centered around people. If I was doing this some years ago, the key cyber threat will have been what we're talking about. But today we know that people is key. And good enough. A lot of justice has been done to that in the room today earlier. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kehinde Giwa. And finally, the fourth breakout room focused on understanding the nature of cyber threats. The speaker who moderated that session is Tunde Balogun, Managing Partner at Octasys Limited. So he'll come up for a quick 2-minute summary, round of applause for a 2-minute summary on highlights and key takeaways from the conversation. And then afterwards, all the speakers will please come up again with representatives from FinTech NGR for pictures.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we discussed about the cybersecurity trends in Nigeria. During the discussion, one of the things I told the participants was that I shared some practical experiences with them because we were involved, Octasys was involved with, there was a cyber attack with one of the biggest sports betting company in April this year. And we were the data protection compliance organization. So we had a real scenario of what happens. Okay, when it comes to in Nigeria, the most trend you see, there are two types of trends in cyber attack. You have ones geared towards enterprise. So enterprise, what you mostly see are ransomware, which is what happened to my client. Yeah, and under ransomware, there are two types. There are two types where the hackers can actually come into your network. So they break into your network, but they can't break into any database. So they are not stealing any personal data or any intellectual property, but they've been able to break into your environment. And when that happens, they bring your entire system down. Your data is safe, but it brings your entire system down. And that's what happened to our client. It was a ransomware attack. It was a DDoS where they broke into their system. And for about 8 days, all their operators all over the country, all those the operators that stay by the roadside with those terminals, couldn't work for about 10 working days. And they lost about 2-point-something billion because they just couldn't work for about 10 working days. Yeah, so for enterprise, the trend you see in Nigeria are mostly ransomware. Now for individuals, the trend you see in Nigeria for individuals are phishing scam. So you open your inbox, you're bombarded yeah, with emails from people and organizations you've never seen before with attachments. You open the attachment, as Doctor said, the previous speaker, you're releasing malware into your system. The same thing with social media handles, WhatsApp, yeah? People will send you that custom is recruiting, you know, or blah, 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 or ShopRite is giving away some whatever, and you click on that attachment, you've released malware. The good news I'll share with you regarding that is that that falls over the years as Nigeria and organizations in Nigeria begin to comply with compliance law like Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. Things like phishing scam will reduce over the years because NDPR enforces organizations, yeah, that when they collect your personal data, they only use it for the specific purpose they've collected it for. So Access Bank has collected your personal data. They may only use it in providing you banking services. Yeah, the days of when a bank will collect your personal data and sell it to the insurance company will sell it to Pizza Hut, Pizza everywhere, you start getting all kinds of phishing scam. Over the years, as organization begins to comply with data protection law, the phishing scam will reduce. Another thing again, I'll share a very quick example with you where we were involved with one of the biggest banks in Sub-Saharan Africa, where we ran a script on the activities of hackers on them on the World Wide Web. And we found that there were a lot of activities on them on the internet by hackers. But the bank didn't believe they had been hacked because their operations were not down. Because sometimes cyber attackers can actually break into your network and they'll be sniffing around for years, 1 or 2 years, but they won't bring you down because they've now found something worthwhile to disrupt your operation. So because your operations are still up and running doesn't mean you're there, yeah? And this is what happened to this bank, where we found out they had over 5,000 activities on them on the dark web. But because they had the best solutions with IBM, they didn't believe they were hacked. Anyway, to random this, when we commenced the investigation to see the reason why they had so many activities on them on dark web, it was down to human error. Something with cyber security is that most of the tools out there are pretty good. I mean, you have AI now being fed into cybersecurity solutions. Most of the tools, they are pretty good. Most of the cyber attacks are down to human error. And I'll share a very typical example with this bank. What was happening was that their staff in this bank were using their official email. So let's say my official email is tunde.balogun@abc.com, abcbank.com. I'll use that official email to go and open a Facebook account, to open Insta, to open social media accounts. They will also use the password that they used to log into their office network every morning. That's the same password they'll use for Facebook, they'll use for Instagram. And when we commenced the investigation with this bank, we found out that almost close to 97% of what was causing their cyber attack was just because their staffs were not adhering to their information and cybersecurity policy. So please train. Enforce your staff, stick to your information security policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sirs. I'd like to invite all the speakers who are part of the breakout session for quick photographs. And I'd like to invite Seun Folorunsho from FinTech NGR to please join them for quick photographs. Thank you. And then after this, please don't be in a hurry to leave. We'll have our quiz and find out who gets to walk away with the Huawei phone. I think we should shift to the right a bit so that we cover. Yeah, so like this way. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Tunde Balogun, Joy Omoroku, Mike Odusomi, and Kehinde Giwa. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the quiz. Anybody excited about it? Okay, we're not excited. Let's take the Huawei phone back and let's close. I think it's a good place to close. Okay, anybody excited about the quiz? Okay, please, let's put the instructions on the screen. Now, this is how it will go. Nigeria FinTech Week quiz. Please go to, I'm not sure if we can see it very clearly from here. Please, okay, go to www.menti.com, MENTI.com. Please bring out your phones. So we're going to play this quiz online. It's going to be simple and fair. You're going to watch everything being projected on the screen. So please go to www.menti.com. Now, I want us to do it very quickly because when I start to give out the instructions for the quiz, it will just be 1 minute. So please just note it. As I mentioned, even if you're not interested in the phone, please win it for your neighbor. If it's not your neighbor and nobody around you wants it, please win it for me. So please, at least for the fun of it, please participate in it. www.menti.com. Use the code 17704853. Has everyone done that? Somebody said yes, speaking on behalf of everyone. Okay. www.menti.com. Menti is spelled MENTI.com. And then when you go there, you use the code 17704853. A minute. Okay, I hear someone say, please give us a minute. MENTI. Okay. I just want to be sure we're on the same page so that when we roll and we go into the quiz completely, nobody will be left out. Are we good, please? You've gotten the website and the code. Okay, great. Now this is the question. Mention 5 speakers at the NFW conference, at the Nigeria FinTech Week Conference 2020. To mention 5 speakers, you've got to do that in 1 minute. Please be careful. 5 speakers who have been here at the NFW conference. It's 1 minute. You've got 1 minute to respond. 1 minute to respond, and we're going to pick the fastest finger, and not just the fastest finger, the person who gets it correctly. Okay, I've also been told that you should please write your name so that we can identify who answers the question. 5 speakers. 5 speakers. Please don't write J-A-Y when the name is J-O-Y, because, I mean, it becomes another name and it becomes disqualified. 5 speakers at the Nigeria FinTech Week 2022. 5 speakers. 5 speakers. And please write your name so that we know who is going to claim the prize at the end of the day. 5 speakers at the Nigeria FinTech Week 2022. 14 seconds to go, 13 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go, 5 speakers. Please name and surname, let's not forget name and surname, and don't forget to write your own name. 5 speakers at the time up. Okay, so even if you write something now, you will no longer accept it because the time is up. All right, somebody did write. Okay. I see the names, I mean, and the person was definitely having fun. So 5 speakers here. I see someone write Ade Bajomo, Dr. Shegu Aino, Mike Odunsoya Giwa, Kehinde Mark. Okay, so we have a lot of names, but what we need to do is to find out who got it right and who got it fast. Who was the fastest person to get it and who got it right? Can we project that, please? Who got it right and who got it fast? Who got it right? And while we're trying to quickly come up with that and find out who walks away with our prize, let me quickly remind us that conference continues tomorrow. We begin with the networking breakfast, and to just continue conversations online, the hashtag to use is hashtag NFW2022. That's the hashtag to use so we can find your posts, your tweets, your mentions on